Well, this is the beginning of a project on a 22RE motor that I've been looking forward to for a long time. As you can see, this is the old head, untouched, bone stock. And it's kind of dirty, just a little bit. It's been in a old 86 4Runner for quite some time. So this guy is going to be cleaned out. We'll take it and have it hot tanked here. And eventually we'll put some bigger valves in there. We're going to deck this thing about 20 thousandths. And as for up here, these guys get replaced. We're going to put some heavier valve springs in there, 100-pound valve springs. Actually out of a it's VW Volkswagen specification. Those valve springs will fit right in there, 1.6 inch outer diameter. So then we'll throw a pretty decent sized cam in here, something that'll still work with the stock fuel injection. We'll probably go with a Comp Cams 268S, or I might go with a TRD Stage 2, depending on what the cam profiles look like. I still got to look at those, since TRD cams are kind of ground more for stock engine applications. So we might be better off going with like a Comp Cams 268 or even a Schneider custom ground that's close to a 268. I don't know. We'll keep on that. So here's all the other parts to the project that we're doing here. These pistons, they're gone, they're trash. This engine had a wonderful spun rod bearing. As you can see, that thing is mangled. The oil port there is just welded almost shut. So rods trash, pistons trashed, cam core still good, that's a good sign, but we're throwing in some high compression Wiseco pistons. We've got some Eagle rods going, and crank seems to be okay even though we threw a rod bearing. We're going to go ahead and get that ground probably 0.25 millimeter, get some oversized rod bearings in there. The head looked good, no cracks, nothing, no warpage. All the rocker arms and on the cam were decent wear pattern, nothing out of the ordinary. And that's pretty much it for that. The block, pretty good shape. No damage to the cylinder walls whatsoever. Wouldn't really matter anyway, since we are going to be boring this guy out about 2 millimeters. To accept the Wiseco 94 millimeter pistons. So that's pretty much it there. Nothing too fancy. Let's see what else we got here. So I will follow up with another video after we get this guy cleaned up, and we'll start the port and polish procedure. We're going to make this guy flow at least 100% better. I mean, if you look in here, you see this stuff right here, and you know, you see it all up in there. It's kind of raunchy. Even though a lot of times you do want to keep some of that, you don't want to keep it completely smooth, because actually those little notches, these tiny little bumps you see of buildup and overall, you know, just the casting. Actually do help the air and fuel mixture, because it creates a little bit of turbulence in the airflow that helps to atomize the fuel a little bit better. So there's a lot of speculation about if you want to port and polish, how far do you polish it? And what we prefer to do is probably take a lot of this grit out and do more of like what they call a dimple, which means you open the airways up a little bit, but you put a dimple instead of a mountainous type of thing, you know, like this right here, instead you do dimples, so they go into the metal instead of extruding from it. and that still keeps your atomization at a nominal level. So you can get as much air as you want in there, but if the fuel isn't mixing right, then it's not really worth the 1 or 2, even 3 horsepower gain of cramming more air in there, because if the fuel is not mixing right, then it's just worthless. So there's that. So we'll come back when this guy is ready for the port and polish job, and I'll give my little 2 cents on how I would do the port and polish job and what tools and procedure that I would use.